In the mid-1980s, Nigeria was gripped by a wave of terror. The name on everyone's lips was Lawrence Anini, an infamous criminal whose violent exploit rocked the nation. Known for his ruthlessness, Anini with his gang of criminals terrorized Benin City and its surrounding areas, leaving a trail of destruction, fear, and death. His reign of terror sparked a nationwide manhunt that captured the attention of both the media and the public. But the question is, how did a young man from humble beginnings become the face of lawlessness in Nigeria? Anini was not always a mastermind. Born into poverty, he had a troubled upbringing, marked by stint in and out of prison. However, his life took a dark turn when he fell into a life of crime, eventually becoming the leader of a gang responsible for a series of violent robberies, kidnapping, and killings. He became notorious for his boldness, committing crimes in broad daylight and leaving behind no trace of his identity, but always managing to escape capture. His gang would rob banks, ambush police convoys, and terrorize the wealthy and the poor alike. By the time Babangida's military regime came to power, Anini had already struck fear into the hearts of the people. The Nigerian government, under the leadership of General Ibrahim Babangida, quickly recognized the growing threat posed by Anini and his criminal empire. Babangida ordered a massive manhunt, deploying law enforcement agencies across the country to track down the elusive criminal. Police forces worked tirelessly to dismantle his operations, but for months, Anini remained a step ahead, slipping through their fingers time and time again. As the hunt grew more intense, the public's anxiety deepened. Newspaper and television broadcasts kept citizens on edge, chronicling the increasing violence and the authorities' desperate attempts to capture Anini. The question on everyone's mind was, when would his reign of terror end? That question was finally answered in December 1986 in an operation led by Superintendent of Police Kayode Uanreroro. Law enforcement managed to corner Anini at his hideout in Benin City. It was a moment that brought a collective sigh of relief to the nation. The notorious criminal, alongside 6 women, were apprehended at number 26 Oyemwosa Street. The police operation was swift and decisive, bringing to an end the violence that has plagued the region for years. However, the end of Anini's criminal activities did not mean the end of his story. His arrest became a symbol of the Nigerian government's determination to confront criminality head-on. Anini's capture was hailed as a major victory for law enforcement, and for a time it restored a sense of order to a society that had been deeply shaken by the lawlessness he embodied. But Lawrence Anini's legacy would not fade so easily. In the years following his arrest, his name became synonymous with criminality in Nigeria. He was not just a thief or murderer, he was a symbol of a broken system, one where corruption and incompetence allowed criminals like him to thrive. Anini's story also raised uncomfortable questions about the social and economic factors that contributed to his rise, factors like poverty, a lack of opportunity, and a deep-rooted mistrust of authorities. His crimes reflected not just individual moral failings, but systemic issues that still resonate today. Today, more than 3 decades after his arrest, Anini's name still stirs memories of a darker time in Nigeria's history. His story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked criminality and the need for continued vigilance in the fight against corruption. Anini's downfall, while an important chapter in Nigeria's history, is a reminder that the forces of lawlessness can emerge at any time and that society must remain alert to prevent another reign of terror from taking root.